Hey everybody, this is Cyrus from the band New Found Glory, and I am here in Lawrence, Kansas at the Granada on the New Found Glory 20-year anniversary tour. And I'd like to just show you around my kit, tell you about my setup and everything that goes into it. Alright, so let's start with my drum setup. First, probably most important, is the drums themselves. I've been an SJC drums artist now for a few years. Love the company, love what they do. Everything's custom, at least with my kit. And basically, it's a pretty standard setup. It's a 5-piece kit. They're all maple, all the drums. 18 by 22 kick. I have an 8 by 12 rack tom, 14 by 16 floor tom, and a 16 by 18 floor tom as well. All the kits are a red glitter wrap with gold hardware. Really cool. I'm not a big fan of like super crazy finishes. I like stuff that's pretty classic. And on top of that, this will actually match most of the art that we're doing on this 20-year tour, and I'm sure pretty much anything we do. So really nice sounding kit. It's pretty standard sizes for me, and I've had stuff like this for years now. Snare drums, for me, the snare I'm using, it's a it's 6.5 by 14. It's a titanium snare. You cannot, it's really hard to find. SJC made these only for a little while, and I was lucky enough to get one. This is by far one of the best sounding snares I've ever had in my life. It is so loud. The tuning range is insane on this thing, and I keep trying to get them to make me more, and they can't even find the titanium shells anymore. So I keep going to this, same thing, it's titanium, but it's got gold hardware throughout, and I absolutely love it. I actually have a backup snare that they made me, which was, it looks very similar, but this is aluminum. Same thing, 6.5 by 14. Aluminum with gold hardware. Both of these snares, I have die-cast tubes on them, which I think is a big part of my sound because I do a lot of rim shots, so you can get that cool power and a little bit of extra tone out of it. Let's move on to, well, I'll talk about drum heads really fast. Remo, I've been using Remo forever. To me, they are the best drum heads and just sound amazing in the studio or live on stage. I always use them. So again, pretty basic thing, nothing crazy. On the toms, it's coated emperors on the top and clear ambassadors on the bottom of all the toms. The snares, I use the coated Emperor X, thanks to a good friend of mine, Mike Fasano. He is a studio drum tech wizard, and he helped develop this head and put it on a snare, and that was it for me. Hazy ambassador on the bottom, like a lot of people do. On the kick drum, I always use clear Power Stroke 3s. And that's pretty much it for that. The front side, Remo does these really awesome graphic heads for me, and I usually get different ones for every tour to match. If I need to muffle heads, I use drum tacks, which are really cool mufflers they're awesome because they're very versatile. You can actually reuse them, unlike a lot of other companies. And you know, even if you got to put some tape or something on there, they're not overly like crazy as far as how much dampening they do. You can cut them up if you need to. You can kind of do whatever you want, re-clean them, which is a great thing. And yeah, so I use drum tacks on the top of the drum heads. And then we'll go on to cymbals. Cymbals for me are Zildjian. Thank you for the shirt. I've been with Zildjian for over 15 years now, and the company's amazing to me. I was very fortunate. I got my first set of Zildjian cymbals through being on tour with Blink-182, opening up for them, and Travis and his drum tech Daniel were nice enough to hook me up. And I've been using Zildjian ever since. I love the A-Custom series. There's something about New Found Glory's music. We're pretty loud, and I need something that's going to cut through. And A-Custom, for me, they're awesome because not only do they look cool, because they're nice and brilliant finish, but there's a little extra sheen on top, so they kind of can cut through any mix. So crashes, it's usually 18 and 19 inch. These are both medium crashes, which are the thickest A-Customs they make. They can withstand the power and the abuse I put them through literally every day. Sometimes I use a 20, sometimes they're for A-Custom projections, but for this tour it's A-Custom medium crashes. I have a set of 14-inch A-Custom Master Sound hats. I use the Master Sounds all the time. Great hats, almost any series, even the A Master Sounds are really great too. My China here is not an A-Custom, it's actually a K-Custom. It's 19-inch K-Custom hybrid China, and they developed this, I think, I don't know, like 7-8 years ago, something like that, I might be wrong. But once I heard this China, to me, this was the best sounding China I'd ever heard. It's hybrid, so it's got a little bit of brilliant and a little bit of like a traditional lathing, and it's kind of the best of both worlds, literally, with the way they make it and the way it sounds. New for this tour, for me, a 12-inch A-Custom Splash. I'm not a big Splash guy, but on this 20th anniversary tour, We're playing over the course of the tour 76 different songs from 6 different records, our first 6 records we recorded. And a couple of those records, I got a little experimental and I had some splashes up there. So decided to bring one back out. It's been fun trying to incorporate it back into not only my setup, but also just what I'm playing, and see if maybe I can even add it on some parts that I didn't originally have it. Last but not least, I'll talk about my ride. Anybody who knows me and knows my playing will probably know that I've been using the A Sweet Ride, Brilliant, for literally my entire career. I absolutely love the sound of it. It's, as a crash ride, it's probably the best crash ride I've ever used in my life. As a ride, it's a great ride as well. I was fortunate enough on this tour to be able to visit the Zildjian factory in Massachusetts, go around, look at the vault, see how they made some cymbals, and pick their brains on a lot of different things about what goes into the making of the cymbals and the different tones and stuff you can get. And I came out of that factory with this, which is a custom. It's the 20th anniversary ride, and basically the way it was described to me, this 20th anniversary ride is the Sweet Ride, but a little thicker. So it's a little more like a ride and less like a crash. And again, on this tour, because we're playing so much of our material, I have to cover a lot of different bases. And in the studio, it's really easy to just swap out a ride and put a heavier or thicker ride for one song and then switch it back out, whatever. Live, obviously, you can't do that. So I was looking for something that would kind of take it to the next level and give me a little more of that ride sound that I needed. Within a day, this became my favorite cymbal ever, and this will probably be up here. No offense, and I love you, Sweet Ride, but I think you're gone now, and I think it's going to be the 20th anniversary ride from now on. So that's my cymbal setup. Doesn't really change, hasn't really changed in years, besides maybe changing a crash or something like that. So moving on to sticks, I am a Vader artist. It's actually the first endorsement I ever got was Vader. I think I got endorsed by them back in 2000, so it's been well over 15 years now. They're an amazing company, they've been awesome to me, and I currently use the Nude 5B sticks, so they're unfinished, they're not lacquered. I sweat a lot, I have trouble sometimes, or at least I feel like I have trouble where sticks are going to slip out of my hands or I can't grip them, so the Nude is awesome because my sweat just kind of goes into the stick and you never really have to worry about it being too slick or losing grip or anything. And Vader's nice enough to always print custom stamps for me, so I got this one celebrating our 20th year. Moving on, pretty much the only other thing is the hardware. I'm a DW artist as well. As far as hardware and pedals, I've been using DW stuff for over 15 years again. To me, some of the best and at least the sturdiest and kind of most rugged hardware you can get out there. It's a standard, so pretty much everything I have here is 9000 series DW. It's your standard cymbal crashes, boom crashes. I use a 9000 double pedal, although I'm not big on the actual double pedal. I do have it there. 9000 hat and throne, and that pretty much covers my setup. My drum tech Josh is awesome, has this stuff dialed in. He's really good. We've actually made some fun little changes on this tour. We're bringing my snare tuning down from what I've kind of done historically, and it sounds amazing every single day. So this is my drum setup. I mean, the only other thing I can think of, if people ever want to know what my secret weapon here is, might be this guy, Animal. I know it's not original. I know I'm not the first person to ever do this, but we were on tour in Europe and an Animal, not this one, but a different one, got thrown up on stage. I found it after the show, and I thought it'd be really cool to kind of have him on my drum set. So this guy I got about a year later, and this was now probably 6 years ago, 7 years. He's been all over the world. He's pretty beat up, but he's with me every day, right on the front of my drum set. So if you see Animal, chances are you might see me playing. So that's it. I can tell you right now that even though we're on this 20th anniversary tour, we have a new record called Makes Me Sick. It'll be out at the end of April. Maybe it's out right now, and you should go get it. It's pretty awesome. I used a setup very similar to this in the studio. I love the drum sounds on that record. There's a lot of cool snares on that record, a lot of cool just different cymbal choices, things like that. Sounds slamming. You should go see it or go get it, listen to it, and then come see us in concert.